First Nations people are the custodians of over 80,000 years of culture, knowledge and stories that must be heard and protected. We acknowledge and respect the wisdom and expertise of elders and the emerging voices of young leaders. Family violence is not part of Aboriginal culture. First Nations communities have been working for a long time to address the impacts of colonisation and family violence. Knowledge, strength and voices must continue to be at the heart of working to end family violence, ensuring that First Nations people, families and communities are strong, respected, safe, connected and living free from family violence. We are committed to listening to the voices of First Nations people and walking alongside. In the following animation by Gunai Kurnai artist Anne-Marie Morgan, we hear reflections from Anne-Marie and her sister Diane. This artwork vividly demonstrates the importance of prevention, often referenced by health promotion professionals as working upstream.
There I am, standing by the shore of the swiftly flowing river, and I hear a cry from a drowning person. So I jumped in the river, put my arms around them, pull them to shore and do CPR.
Just when they begin to breathe, there's another cry for help. So I jump in the river, reach them and pull them to shore and do CPR again. And then just as they begin to breathe, another cry for help. So back in the river again, without end goes the sequence.
I am so busy jumping in, pulling them to shore, doing CPR, that I have no time to see who is upstream pushing them all in.
Throughout the experience of childbirth and early parenting, health and community workers like you play a pivotal role.
Not only do you provide all kinds of families with support through pregnancy, infancy, and childcare,
you also have the power to influence lasting, positive change and prevent unacceptable behaviours that exist across our society, including violence against women.
A quarter of all women in Australia will experience intimate partner violence during their lifetime.
But we are in the unique position of preventing violence before it occurs.
Violence against women is rooted in gender inequality. Where there is greater inequality, there is greater risk of violence.
a quarter of all women in Australia will experience intimate partner violence during their lifetime. This is unacceptable. But it can be prevented, and there is something we can all do to help.
Preventing violence against women requires intervention at 3 levels.
The first, primary prevention, focuses on whole-of-population initiatives like consent education, which aims to prevent violence before it occurs.
Secondary prevention or early intervention identifies risk factors for family violence.
It focuses on those who are at greater risk of experiencing or perpetrating violence and aims to prevent violence from escalating.
The third, tertiary prevention or response, is a targeted intervention that provides support to victim survivors after violence has happened. This response puts in strategies to stop violence escalating.
These 3 approaches work together to reduce the cycle of violence against women.
Perinatal services are important settings to engage in primary prevention.
The birth of the first child is a unique opportunity to create positive change.
When a baby arrives, the relationships of their parents or caregivers moves towards long-term, unequal and highly gendered parenting roles.
And, in some cases, this can lay a foundation for inequality, resentment, mental health challenges, and even violence.
You have an opportunity to challenge outdated stereotypes and rigid gendered expectations and promote equal parenting relationships.
Together, through Baby Makes 3, we can help change the narrative for future generations.